If we took all our favorite characters from any anime and the greatest characters in all the different genres and combined them, we still wouldn't come close to the ultimate Giga Chad peak top G legendary son into the power of 10 character that is Kazuma. Before I stuff my face with all of Kazuma's large personality, let's talk about the show he's from. At this point in our anime careers, we've seen all the different tropes and gimmicks that producers have conjured up in this genre. The weak beta protagonist gets transported to another world, people from another world being transported here, the protagonist's uncle being transported there, turning into a slime and being transported there. Is that a fucking vending machine? Everything we can think of has been done, and soon we'll have another world turning into the real world where the protagonist gets banned from the real world, so he grabs plot for energy to summon the Demon King to enter a high school death game, which is being controlled by a lolly who destroyed the isekai world and is now trying to destroy our world. Like I was saying, amongst the coke trip that is isekai, there's one that stands out amongst them all. Redo of Healer. I know what you're thinking, calm down. I know there's a lot of controversy around this show and that the show's not technically an isekai, but guys, we shouldn't call wholesome fantasy isekai looking anime bad just because they don't fit the typical isekai genre. I mean, we can be a little bit more open-minded than that. The show I'm referring to is, of course, none other than Konosuba. This is by far one of the funniest shows I have seen, and the plot starts off roughly the same. Truck hits protagonist gets transported to another world. The world is magical, which has guilds, monsters, the Devil King, and a world that needs rescuing. But what sets the world of Konosuba apart from other isekai shows is that the sole goal of every single character, major or supporting in the anime, every single event that occurs, every single interaction that we see on screen is either to make the audience laugh or to set up the audience for a bigger laugh later on. Of course, there are great fight scenes, amazing visuals, genuinely heartfelt moments, interesting elements of foreshadowing here and there. But the main purpose of the story is not to beat the Devil King or to liberate any cities. It is pure parody and laughter. This show is a parody on every isekai trope there is. An unbeatable supervillain tries to annihilate the main characters in one episode and becomes a merchandise shop owner the next. The generic overpowered isekai main character gets bullied non-stop by everyone. Kazuma saves the city the one day and gets put on trial for collateral damage the next, whilst being dragged down by his idiot teammates. This brings me to the greatest strength the show has, its characters. Every single character is a parody of generic tropes, but every character fits almost perfectly in every single scene. The relationship between Kazuma and Aqua is what a real sibling relationship looks like in real life. I mean, what a breath of fresh air in the anime community, and let's be honest, we all know what sibling relationship means in anime. The word for sister in Japanese is imoto. Imoto sounds like Botox, which is what Rachel uses to cover up what a toxic, fake, two-faced, boot-looking country really is. Megumin and Darkness might be giant burdens at times and downright insane, but they're genuinely loyal to the group. Yunyun is powerful as hell but has no friends. Aqua is a well-intentioned idiot who's just useless but is closer to Kazuma than any other character in the show. The flaws of every single character leads to genuinely hilarious interactions that are grounded in realism despite being a fantasy isekai. This finally brings me to the greatest legend that's ever lived, Kazuma. What makes Kazuma so great? He's just fucking unhinged, innit? I mean, this guy breaks all the precedents set out by previous protagonists. Work hard, never give up, and save the world? Fuck that. I'll just hire a bunch of people, get them to save the world, I'll take the credit. What are you gonna do about it? Never lay a hand on women? A true advocate of gender equality like Kazuma would never treat women as if they were inferior to him and would dropkick them if they deserved it. The second he's given an opportunity to sleep with Yunyun, none of this, "Oh, I'm blushing because I see your pinky" nonsense. His first reaction is, fair enough, like most people's reaction would be in his situation. That is Kazuma's strongest point. He does and says things that we as the audience watching would actually say and do. The nice guy generic isekai protagonist is further away from us as people than what Kazuma is. Now, he doesn't always do everything right, but a lot of the time his actions have positive consequences for everyone involved. Whilst he is one of the weakest characters in the show, he beats almost all of the strongest characters and navigates through the most absurd circumstances through sheer common sense and wit, displaying genuine compassion and self-sacrifice all throughout. Whilst of course we need to see many supporting characters interact with the protagonist, it's actually believable that so many different people in the show are drawn to him, and it's because of the positive influence he has on their lives. Without Kazuma, Aqua and the rest would never have found their way into buying a mansion in Axel. He sacrificed his life to save Yunyun's hometown and actually succeeded in doing so. Even his flaws are not irredeemable. He's a thirsty perv, but we know he wouldn't do anything that crosses the line given the chances he's had to do so. We know he's greedy and wants to be rich, but who doesn't? He's not idealistic like Light Yagami, he's not overpowered like Goku, he's not traumatized like Guts, and he's not psychotic like Johan. is a normal guy inside an anime. Anime and manga creators have tried for decades to create a character that most resembles a normal human being. That's why we got so many bland, boring protagonists. Now, finally, they have succeeded. All we needed was more degeneracy, less shame, more common sense, and above all, a character that does not give a fuck and does whatever they want. That is Kazuma, the greatest protagonist in anime history. Till next time.